Fight Fiend Forecast. I'm the host, Joseph, back for another full card prediction show. This for at UFC 311, going down as scheduled, Los Angeles, California. Prayers to everyone out there fighting for their lives, their homes with the wildfires. This fight is still a go, I guess. It did not get rescheduled. There was 2 LA basketball games last night. The football game got rescheduled to Arizona. As far as we know, this fight night is a go in LA, and it's at the Intuit Dome, not at the Crypto.com arena, where Islam Makhachev is fighting Arman Tsarukyan for the second time. Their second matchup here. First time it was Arman Tsarukyan's debut. Now he gets to redeem that loss against pound for pound, the best fighter in the UFC, in all of mixed martial arts. Another title fight on this card, Merab Dvalishvili and Umar Nurmagomedov, Khabib's cousin. He's looking to take the belt from Merab as a favorite, a pretty big favorite. We're going to talk about each and every fight. There could be a third title fight, essentially, if you look at Yuri Prochazka and Jamal Hill. That fight was supposed to be a title fight. If y'all remember, Yuri Prochazka, he had to pull out with injuries. The belt got vacant. Jamal, sweet dreams, Hill took the belt. And he was coming off a fight where, you know what, we'll get going with it. We got to get going with the full card prediction show. We're going to talk about each and every fight. We're going to end it with those fights. We're going to end the full card prediction show off with the biggest 3 fights of the night. We're going to start it off with the first fight of the night, but before we get going, backtrack to last week. Just a bad week. I'm going to call a spade a spade. When I do good, I'll let you know. When I do bad, well, if you were listening, you'll know I did bad. 5 for 14, unacceptable. That's not how I wanted to start the year off. I was taking some chances, but every pick went to So, not too happy about the results last week. Looking at the locks, I had 30 locks in a row. Male locks in a row. 10 locks in a row. And the streaks went to shit in 30 seconds. 30 male locks in a row that I accumulated, de-escalated very fast. 30 seconds, Punahele Soriano knocked out the doctor, Euros medic. I looked like a fool on each and every pick I made, except for 5. And this week, we got 14 fights again. I'm going to cook up the picks quick, give you each and every pick. I'm not here to waste your time. I'm not here to try to take a long shot chance when I'm making a pick. I'm going to call a spade a spade. I'm going to run through these picks, and we're going to get paid. We're going to get revenge because last week was bad. It was bad for me. If it was good for you, congratulations. Let's keep that momentum going. Let's keep getting after these bookies, beating them up like we have been the last couple weeks, ending off 2024. It's a new year, so we got to stay composed, get focused. Fight Fiends Forecasters, I thank you for tuning in. Let's get going. First fight of the night. Like the video. Subscribe if you're just tuning in. I appreciate all the Fight Fiends Forecasters that are hitting the link in bio, joining Discord for free, and choosing the option to join Patreon, seeing each and every bet, seeing the picks early, the confidence levels, the method of victories, the percentages, implied probabilities, line movement tracker for only $5 a month. $5? Let's go. First fight of the night, Tagir Ulanbekov versus Clayton Carpenter. Carpenter's undefeated. Ulanbekov, a little bit inactive in the UFC, but he's obviously fought the better guys. Higher caliber fighter in there with the Nurmagomedovs, Makhachev. He's in that kind of environment each and every day. His training is higher level. He has a better gas tank. This fight could be close. Carpenter is undefeated. He is a good hammer. But split decision loss. Worst case. I think Tagir Ulanbekov, the favorite, gets his hand raised by a decision. Maybe there's a chance that both fighters look like they're going to get a submission in this fight, but it just does not happen. I'm going to play it smart. Next fight of the night, we're taking a look at Ricky Turcios versus Benardo Sopaj. This guy, Benardo, he dropped the soap. He was looking good versus Vincius Oliveira. Lock dog. He was looking very good, and then he got knocked out with that flying knee. It looks like in this fight, he could have an advantage with the takedown, cardio, power on the feet. He can win this fight a bunch of different ways. He's my pick. Another favorite on this card that I expect to win. Younger fighter, 24 years old. 6 years younger in this fight than pretty Ricky, who's not looking too pretty on the feet. He's pretty awkward. He has a high volume, but inaccurate. Split decision to Kevin Natividad in his last win. A split decision to Brady Hindstand, his second last win. He's winning close fights when he wins. I don't see him making this fight close. As a favorite, should win. He's 24 years old, has power on the feet, has good takedowns, control time. The knockout is obviously going to present itself in a fight with Ricky Turcios, and he could win a decision. If it goes 15 minutes, he's getting his hand raised. He's the favorite. He gets it done here. Like, after what we have seen from Ricky Turcios after winning the Ultimate Fighter, it's not good. It's not pretty. I'm not picking him to win. I don't even think he has a chance. I see him getting finished in this fight. All honesty, we're on to the next pick. We're not trying to take too long. We're not here to waste your time. We got another big favorite, Rinya Nakamura versus Muin Gafurov. Gafurov, this guy, he got submitted to Said Nurmagomedov not too long ago. Guillotine choke. He's always shooting for takedowns. Now, that's what's going to get Muin Gafurov in trouble. He has more experience, 19-6, fighting a guy 9-0. Rinya Nakamura. Nakamura a little bit green. He's fighting guys like Kazama, Garcia, Carlos Vera. They're not that good. He won his last two fights by a decision. This fight could get greasy. It could get close. But as a favorite, this big, this much hype on him, this powerful on the feet, I think he gets it done. He has the better fighter's IQ, Rinya Nakamura. But Muin Gafurov, he has experience. He has somewhat of a good cardio, but you see in round 3, round 2, late, he starts to fade. With a gas tank like Nakamura, I think Nakamura can wear him down late in this fight. Against Fernie Garcia, he had potential for a submission in that fight. He went for 3 of them. In this fight, I could see him getting a submission win. It could unfold. Muin Gafurov is always shooting for takedowns. He's going to gas himself out. He won't be successful with those takedowns, and he's going to be in a boatload of trouble. I think Nakamura hits harder, better on the ground, better everywhere. Won his last 2 fights by a decision, though. A little bit concerning. He's not able to find a finish in those fights, but he was definitely searching for one. He was trying, and at 29 years old, he's older than Muin Gafurov. That's crazy. Gafurov is 28. He's a year younger. Tajikistan, plus 330 dog, though. Don't think he's getting it done. Don't matter if Nakamura won his last couple fights by a decision. He's looking like the real deal. I'll trust him with the pick. But looking to bet him, I'm not sure. That's a pretty big number to lay on a guy that's pretty unproven, fighting a guy with this much experience. Not a good number to lay. Next fight, women's fight. The odds, they're so wide. All these picks that I am making, tough to bet them at these prices. A little bit wide. A little bit wide. 21% of people out of 1,800 on Tapology taking the favorite. That's crazy. 80% on the dog. This is not hitting. I guarantee you this. Women's fight. Everyone on the dog. Ailin Perez. Are you kidding me? 11-2 versus Carol Rosa. Who, yeah, she's win-loss. Her last couple fights due for the loss, but she beat Pani Kianzad to the bone. Unanimous decision. Anna Santos split decision win. She's fighting girls that are high caliber, a lot of experience, a lot of veteranship inside of the UFC. You look at Ailin Perez, she's fighting girls like Diarrhea Zelezenkova. Very green, super green, terrible takedown defense. And then she's fighting girls like fucking Pudilova. Jocelyn Edwards, squeezing out a unanimous decision win there. Another win to Ashley Evans-Smith, 6-5. And she lost to Stephanie Egger. She got submitted to Stephanie Egger, 7-3. So, Karol Rosa is her toughest fight yet to date in the UFC. I guarantee you that. Karol Rosa is going to beat her to the bone. Stop the takedowns. The takedowns from Ailin Perez are going to be telegraphed. Karol Rosa will see them coming. She'll stop them. She'll beat her up on the feet. Her striking is levels above Ailin Perez. Both of these girls are 30 years old. One of them has been in the UFC way longer, has looked better, has fought the higher level girls. Win or loss, I'm taking who I think the better fighter is. I think it's obvious. Karol Rosa, she's the favorite. 80% of people on the underdog. Bookies aren't paying that out. Go bang that favorite right there. Not literally, figuratively. Let's get this fucking money. Next fight on the cards. You got to get excited for those women's fights. I'm telling you. You got to get up, get excited, get roaring, stay awake at all costs. For Grant Dawson fights, same thing goes. He's pretty boring. He's shooting takedowns relentlessly. He gets them most of the time. He's 22-2, but now he's fighting a guy, Diego Ferreira, 19-5. Won his last 2 fights off a break by knockout. You look at the 2 losses for Grant Dawson. If you don't know, now you know they're by knockout in round 1. His chin isn't the best. I don't trust it, especially not as a favorite after what he did to Bobby Green. It looked like he laid down. His girlfriend was pretty pumped up about that one. Looked like she cashed a bet on that one there. In this one, she could lay down some money on Diego Ferreira by KO. I think it's live. I don't think Grant Dawson is durable enough to withstand the fire coming his way from Ferreira. I'm taking the dog. First dog of the night, dog of the week right here. Diego Ferreira gets it done. He is plus 240. I see him winning by KO as well. If you want to take that prop, I think he gets it done here. Grant Dawson, his durability on the feet, his striking technique does not impress me. I don't think he survives. And the thing about Diego Ferreira, he can get back up from a takedown or 2 or 3. He's a dog. He's going to get back up. He's going to get back onto his feet. And when this fight's on the feet, Grant Dawson is going to fear for his life. And he's probably going to take a dive so his GF can cash a bet. Let's take this dog. After last week, essentially one that looked like it was winning Abdul Razak Al Hassan. He was going for the finish. He got caught. It happens. We got caught on a lot of picks last week. Not just Abdul Razak Al Hassan, but from that fight, I can pull a lot of positives away. I think it was a good dog of the week. This one here, around the same price. I'm liking it. I'm locking it in. Give me Diego Ferreira, dog of the fucking week. Let's get it. He probably knocks out Grant Dawson. If I'm a betting man. Probably knocks him out. Unconscious. Look what he did to Rebecca. He beat the fuck out of him. Beat him bad. He beat him bad. Grant Dawson's going to be scared on the feet in this one. He's going to be crotch sniffing right out of the gate. And it ain't going to go his way. Book it. Diego Ferreira. Next fight on the prelims. This is a newly scheduled fight. Zachary, Cedric Dumas got canceled. Dumas pulled out. So we got a new guy from Russia stepping in. 18-3. I was thinking Zachary would get it done, but in this one, not so sure. Zachary's coming off a decision win to Jose Medina. Good job. Lost to Cody Brundage. Slamming punches. Not looking so good when you have to fight a guy winning his last number of fights. Russian LFA champion here. He beat Lucas Fernando, a guy on the Dana White's Contender Series. He beat Dylan Budka, split decision. But then he knocked out his last opponent. And that was a vicious right hook. He has power on the feet. For Zachary, I'd be a little worried. This guy can hit. He's a good striker, although he's Russian. He can get takedowns and stop the submission, in my opinion. He could get his own submission. The Russian's the play for me here. He could win on the feet. He could win on the ground. He probably wins the decision. LFA champion, stepping in short notice. I think he'll look good, but he does lack a reach advantage. He's going to have to close that range, get into close boxing range, find his shot, get that right hook on point, on the chin of Zachary. Don't even know the odds. They are not out. Time of recording, Tuesday morning, 11 o'clock Eastern time. No odds on the fight, but give me the Russian. Zachary was going to be the pick, though. Not going to lie. Against Cedric Dumas. Against SD Dumas. Azamat Bekoev gets it done here with relative ease. 3 more fights on the prelims. We got Jailton Almeida, Serghei Spivac. I'm taking Jailton Almeida, big favorite in this one, not going to overcomplicate it. He's a faster fighter. Serghei Spivac, he's sloppy, he's slow. He got a submission in his last fight, but he's not going to submit Jailton Almeida. He's just not. Almeida is yoked for heavyweight. He is quick for heavyweight. He beat Derek Lewis by a decision, but other than that, this guy has ground and pound abilities. On the feet, I think he has a way to win. He has a lot of people picking him by a submission in this fight. I can see the path to victory, but what about Serghei Spivac getting knocked out? You look at how he loses his fights. All right, this guy has 4 losses, 3 by knockout, 2 in the first round by knockout. Just got knocked out to Cyril Gane, round 2. Knocked out to Tom Aspinall, round 1, 2021. This guy can get knocked out. His chin is not that good. He does not like to be on the feet when he's getting hit. If Jailton Almeida wants to keep this on the feet, he'll look fine. And I think he will win as a favorite. That's why he's such a big favorite. On the feet, he has a wicked path to victory for the win. Give me Jailton Almeida. Obviously, on the ground, he can take this to the ground, get the better takedowns, control time, maybe lock up a submission, ride it out to a decision. Doesn't matter. And the next fight on the prelims, we're talking about Payton Talbott, Raoni Barcelos, a fight that seems to be favored for the youngster. Payton Talbott in this fight, looking very good in the UFC. A vicious knockout in his last fight. A low-level fighter, yes, Yanis Gamori, a guy that didn't know what he was doing on the feet with a guy like Payton Talbott. Raoni Barcelos is good enough to test Payton Talbott, so I would take the fight to go the distance. Take Payton Talbott to win a decision, though. He's going to piece him up. He's going to be quicker, younger, faster, better cardio, better IQ, and pick him apart. He might not find that knockout finish we're all hoping for. You know, he knocked out Yanis Gamori. This is Payton Talbott's fight on a big card to show everybody he is elite. He can fight with the best of the best. Raoni Barcelos has fought the who's who, the best of the best. So a win over a guy like this is a great win. A very good win to put him up the ranks. It doesn't even matter if it's a unanimous decision, a finish. But no matter what he does, we're going to get a good judgment what he's going to do in the future. If he can finish Raoni Barcelos, in my opinion, I think it's pretty damn impressive. Raoni Barcelos is no bitch. I see him surviving. Give me the massive, humongous, fat favorite Payton Talbott by a decision. Hopefully it's plus money. It's gonna be. It's gotta be. Has to be. Talbott has what? 100% finish rate? He has a decision win, Dana White's Contender Series. 7 knockouts, 1 submission, and the sole decision win, Dana White's Contender Series, Reyes Cortez. Are you telling me Raoni Barcelos is worse than Reyes Cortez? I think Raoni Barcelos is better than him. This fight will go to a decision. Last fight on the prelims, Bogdan Goskov, new opponent. He was supposed to fight Johnny Walker. He's getting a guy that's not UFC caliber. That's what it is. Prelim headliner, probably a finish. Give me the favorite, Bogdan Goskov, knockout, emphatic fashion. It's going to be vicious. On the ground, he's going to be able to hold the weight and just rain down heavy blows. This guy will not want to be in the ring with Bogdan Goskov. Goskov with motivation. He has a ton of confidence in this spot. His debut fight, he lost. Rear naked choke. Volcano Ozdemir. No big deal. He's on a roll. Looking good. Prior to the UFC, he got knocked out once. But he was 33-8. I don't think he's losing this one. He's going to have to get cold cocked by Billy Elikana, who, like I said, he's not UFC caliber. Won his last 3 fights after a split decision loss to a guy 6-2 at the LFA. He's fighting at the PFL, LFA, LFX. Beat a guy 4-0, knockout, round 1. Split decision win, 5-2 opponent, 5-1 decision win. Prior to that, 3-1 knockout, round 1. Beat a debuter by a decision, 1-3 win. Amateur results, lost to a guy 5-0. I don't trust in the short notice fighter. Now we got the main card for UFC 311. We're going to start it off with the first fight on the main card after a little break, little hoot session, couple shots, get back into fight mode, ready to make some fucking money. Kevin Holland, Reinier de Ridder, what a fight to start off the main card. A guy in Kevin Holland that's been my lock before and let me down. A guy that I'm losing trust in, Kevin Holland. This guy, you would think he's going to get it going, get a win. He's not looking like he's winning many fights right now. He's won 2 out of his last 5. Mikhailo Zaechuk struggled a little bit, then he got the win, submission win there. Other than that, he fought 3 months ago, and he stopped the fight with a rib injury. He got taken down quite easily to a guy that has fought at 205. He's fighting a grappler now in Reinier de Ridder, who's a great grappler. If the fight gets to the ground, it's not good for Kevin Holland in this one. Unanimous decision loss to Michael Venom Page, and a split decision loss to Jack Della Maddalena. So, a split decision loss to Jack Della Maddalena. Rewind. That fight was close. He almost won. In this fight, I have to hesitate to count him out. I don't think it's over for Kevin Holland. He's still got it. He's got some game. He's knocked out Ponzinibbio before, round 3. He knocked out Joaquin Buckley, round 3. Reinier de Ridder was losing gas in round 2 and 3 in fights before. I don't think his gas tank's trustable. Coin flip fight. I think Kevin Holland gasses him out, knocks him out late in this fight, gets it done here, gets back in the win column. If he loses this one, it's 1 win out of his last 5. That's not Kevin Holland fashion. He has something to fight for. Kevin Holland can stop the takedowns, defend some submissions, knock out this guy that cannot strike from 1 championship. Yeah, he has 2 belts in his picture, but I don't think he's that good on the feet. He cannot strike. He's going to be dependent on that takedown and submission. If he doesn't get it, he's screwed. If Kevin Holland can't defend off that takedown, though, he is screwed on the other hand. That's why this fight is a coin flip. Flip a coin or pick whoever you have more faith in. I'm going to trust in the striker in a fight that's going to start on the feet where they have to strike. So, Kevin Holland, defend a couple takedowns, maybe defend a submission off if it gets to that point. Hopefully it doesn't have to. You just defend off that submission, knock this guy out. Easy win, Kevin Holland. In my opinion, it should be. But 3 months ago, he had a rib injury. Quick turnaround. Don't love it. Can't love it. Hard to play him as a lock. Hard to really play him with your money after a tough showing like that. Kevin Holland's a pick. Don't love it. Reinier de Ridder. Absolutely hate him. Not a fan at all. Beneil Dariush. He's in a fight now with Renato Moicano where what do you got left to show, Beneil? Beneil has fought the who's who. He's lost his last 2. Got knocked out in both of them. Charles Oliveira, easy work, and Arman Tsarukyan. The chin of Beneil Dariush is not good. You look at the last 2 fights for Renato Moicano. From what I remember, 3 months ago, he just beat the living shit out of Benoit Saint-Denis. Benoit Saint-Denis was bleeding after round 1. Beat him down on the feet. People didn't think he could strike. Well, guess what? Renato Moicano can strike. I've seen him say already he wants to knock out Beneil Dariush. He thinks he can. I honestly do think that he can. He's going to knock out Beneil Dariush in this fight. Round 1, round 2, easy work. Beneil Dariush's chin cannot hold up. His determination to win, it's looking like he's folding. He's just laying down like a couple other guys on this card. They're just going to lay down, take the loss, because they know they are not at that level anymore. Beneil Dariush has already talked about retirement. Can't trust in a guy like that. 35 years old. Looks like he's 45 years old. Get the fuck out of here. Give me Renato Money Moyakano for the win. He's going to knock out Beneil. I see it. He could submit him too, but the last guy he submitted was Brad Riddell. At this point, 2025, he's looking like money on the feet. In a matchup like this, I like the knockout. 3 in a row for Renato Moyakano. Remember, he knocked out Jalen Turner as well. Ground and pound. He can get the fight to the ground, and then he can unleash the elbows. Ground and pound. Finish this fight. Either way, money line. He beat up Drew Dober. He's on a 4-fight win streak. Fully motivated, looking to make money. He's got kids to feed, and he gets this one done for Fight Fiends, forecasters, everyone else betting him. Let's go. And now we're quickly going to talk about a fight that was going to be a championship fight where Yuri Prochazka had to pull out with Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill now looking pretty inactive. His last win almost 2 years ago to Glover Teixeira. Retired. Barely won the fight, honestly. Right? I don't think he looked like a world beater, like a champion in that fight. After that, after his break, his injury, he got knocked out where he did not look like he cared versus Alex Pereira. He beat Diego Santos, PFL guy now, can hardly win in the PFL now. Okay, Jimmy Crute, knocked out Jimmy Crute. How much credit you want to give him over that? Johnny Walker? He knocked out Johnny Walker? Are you kidding me? It's 2025. Do you want me to tell you about Johnny Walker? I don't think I have to. Look it up. Yuri Prochazka knocked out Alexander Rakic, one of the top guys outside of the top 2 guys in the division. Alex Pereira, Hill, Prochazka, Ankalev, you know what I'm saying? So Rakic is one of the best. He's within the mix. And look what Yuri Prochazka did to him. He found the spot in round 2. He calculated the shot, took him around, but he fought through it, and he has heart. He has the determination off a loss to win. He's done it before. He took a loss to Pereira, came back, got the win. He's been more active. He's been way more active than Jamal Hill. I seem to really like this side for Yuri Prochazka. I like this spot. And remember, he was the champion in a fight where he was going to defend the belt to Jamal Hill, and then he had to give it up to him. So I think he gets it done in this one. He was once the champion. He could be the champion if Alex Pieda was not the king. That's the problem. He knocked out Dominic Reyes with a spinning elbow. And with Glover Teixeira, he submitted him round 5, beat down Glover Teixeira where he's best, and got that submission, which makes it even more impressive. That's how he got the belt. That was almost 3 years ago now, but a more impressive win to Glover, being more active, having more heart in a fight, showing that he wants to win, that he cares way more. I'm taking Yuri Prochazka in this one. I know a lot of people aren't going to love it, but that's what it is here at the Fight Fiend Forecast. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm calling a spade a spade. I don't think Jamal Hill is having sweet dreams Saturday night. He might be going to sleep. Yuri Prochazka, he's unorthodox, uncalculated. Jamal Hill will not get a read in this fight. He's going to get pushed backwards up against the fence and likely get knocked out. Could be a head kick. The kicks of Yuri Prochazka are wild. The spinning elbows, I talked about that already. And then you can look at the flying knees. The dynamic striking. There is ways for Yuri Prochazka to finish this fight. Even look at the submission. He submitted Glover Teixeira. He's submitted other guys before in his career. I like that path to victory as well for Yuri Prochazka. Let me know in the comments below. Stay active in the comments. And let me know what you're thinking on some of these fight predictions. Love to hear from the Fight Fiends, forecasters. We got to work together as a team. Beat up on these bookies and make this fucking money. We got the co-main event championship fight, Merab Divashvili versus Umar Nurmagomedov. 18-0. Is he? Yes, he is. Are you going to go against him? No, I'm not. Umar has been training with Khabib since he was a little boy. And I believe in him. At this point, 29 years old, 5 years younger than Merab, a wrestler. He's just going to have to do what he does best. Stop the wrestling. Get his own wrestling going. And keep it competitive on the feet, that he can just have more volume, a better striking accuracy, and win the fight. Obviously, the UFC is pushing him to be a champion. Merab has stated he's not 100% ready to go. He has a lingering injury. He wanted a little bit more time. UFC's been pushing it. UFC didn't let Merab in the building when Umar was there. They're keeping distance between the two guys, taking care of Umar a lot, it seems. I think the UFC wants Umar to win. I can see him winning. A fight card where he fights for the belt with Makhachev fighting on the card. It's just lining up. Seems like they want Umar. Close fight. It's going to Umar Nurmagomedov. What can you do? Split decision. Nail biter. Judges give it to Umar Nurmagomedov. Better fighter in my opinion. By a percentage. 2%. Depends on the night, really. I think Nurmagomedov gets it done. Having Khabib in his corner. Having Khabib in his training room. It's going to play dividends for him in this fight. He gets it done in a championship fight against a guy that's an underdog as a champion. You don't normally see that. People could be tempted into a Merab Dvalishvili bet. Great cardio, great relentless pace of takedowns, looking for pressure constantly. He's never on the back foot. So how is Umar going to respond? He might have to look for a knockout on the feet. So on the feet, I trust Umar to get it done. We've seen flashes on the feet that he has improved. He has power. So I could see him getting the knockout, Nurmagomedov. I could see him getting a submission. I remember that time where Ricky Simone submitted Merab Dvalishvili with a second left. Merab gets himself in some bad positions on the ground. And if I have to trust a guy, I'm trusting in the Dagestani Eagle, Umar Nurmagomedov. And new. And obviously for the last fight of the night, Islam Makhachev is the pick. Rematch fight with Arman Tsarukyan. Tsarukyan has battled since that fight, looking very good. Dominating Beneil Dariush. Dominating Joaquim Silva. Dominating Charles Oliveira. Not really. Split decision win. Where you look at Islam Makhachev, absolutely ran through and dog-walked Charles Oliveira. You can see where these fighters right now are at a different level. You can see back then where these fighters were at a slightly different level. The skill gap was a lot closer back then where it is now. I got to say, now Islam Makhachev is levels above a lot of these guys in the division. Not many are going to go close to him and give him a run for his money. Alex Volkanovski was able to do that, but you've seen what happened in their rematch fight. Islam Makhachev can pick up different reads. He has Khabib in his corner once again. A guy you need in your training room if you want success. Now, Islam Makhachev, pound for pound, best in the world. Best ever. You can argue John Jones, Dana White. But Islam is looking like the best. A win to Dustin Poirier round 5. Got the submission. The way he fights in a close fight. The way he can win a round. I can't go against this guy. Islam Makhachev, he dominated Charles Oliveira, a guy that went to a split decision with Arman Tsarukyan 8 months ago, less than a year ago. Oliveira got caught in that submission. The submission is live for Makhachev. The knockout is live. You see the head kick to Volkanovski in round 1. Deadly. It's inevitable that he gets it done once again here. So, there's the picks. UFC 311. Pretty cut and dry. Calling a spade. Telling you how I see it. A lot of these favorites, they're going to fucking win. And they're going to get you paid. You have to pay the price. I know you don't want to. I'm probably not going to. I'm going to have to snipe out some spots that I really like, where there's still value.
Some meat left on the bone.
And I'm going to get paid. Last week, we did not. I'm not going to sit here and lie. We got beat up last week. Lost profit. Lost a lot of picks, bets, and this week it is mandatory that we get paid, we stay motivated, and each and every day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we continue to work, try to get an edge on these books to beat them up. We'll see you for the final forecast where I might change a pick. Likely not. I'm pretty locked in this week. Talk about the face-offs, weigh-ins, and I'll talk about the props of the week, locks of the week, and dogs of the week. So tune in. Final forecast. Stay forecasted. Thank you for being a forecaster. Fight Fiend. Hit the links in bio below. Discord's free. Patreon is $5 a month. You can see the picks early, confidence levels, implied probability percentages. Each and every bet. Line movement tracker. The odds last week, this week, going ballistic. Favorites becoming even bigger favorites. So we seen some dogs cash in. I wasn't on the winning end of anything last week. So this week, we just regroup, delete each and every picture, each and every piece of content that was on the camera roll, delete it all, refresh, go to bed, wake up, new day. Here we are, UFC 311, Los Angeles, Intuit Dome. It's going to be a good one. We're going to get into some Pink Whitney. We're going to get paid, and we're going to have some fun. We have fun each and every card, each and every Fight Fiend forecaster showing their appreciation. Thank you. Hopefully y'all got paid last week, and you knew which fights to stay away from. Hopefully you called my bluff. I was pretty confident. I had the mink coat on. It'll be back for the final forecast. So stay forecasted. We'll be back. Let's get these bags. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's cook it up. Let's cook it up. Come on now. Come on now, guys and girls and fiends and forecasters.
Let him cook. Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said